Mustangs. Thank you so much for joining. My name's Kelsey and I'm the registered dietitian for Campus Dining, and I'm joined by our two executive chefs today, and we have some really fun things in store for you guys. So first, Chef Rensford is going to be showing us how to make a delicious, wholesome salad, and then we're going to take you over to some of our other platforms here at Vista Grande and give you a preview of some of our new spring quarter menu items. So starting here with Chef Rensford, he's going to show us how to make a grain and fruit-based salad. This salad has a variety of berries, including strawberries, which is our superfood for this month. Strawberries really are nature's candy. They have natural sugars, they're sweet and delicious, but they also have a lot of nutritional benefits. They have fiber, potassium, and they are a great, food to incorporate in a pre-workout meal or snack because they can give you a boost of energy to get you going, and they can also help prevent against muscle cramping. So you'll see some strawberries in there. We also have farro, which is an ancient whole grain. If you're looking for a gluten-free option, you can swap out farro for quinoa or brown rice. But all of these grains are whole grains. They're complex carbs. They slow down your digestion and they help prevent against blood sugar spikes. And this really provides you with sustained energy throughout your day to get you going through your studies, through your workouts, through everything. And that is actually our theme for our field program this month. So I'm going to turn it over to Chef Rensford and he's going to show you how it's done.
Hi Mustangs! Great job, by the way, Kelsey. That was a great introduction. Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking Mustang. I'll be one of your hosts, Chef Rensford, and today we're going to be making an amazing grain salad. So in this salad, we're going to have, like Kelsey mentioned, farro. We're also offering strawberries, which come right from our very own Cal Poly Farms. The citrus that we're doing in this dish, which is also oranges, come from our very own Cal Poly Farms. So it's a great way to use what we have here at Cal Poly, but also give you a great dish that you can use for more energy and also to help fuel your day. So we're going to start by making our dressing. If you guys were here for my first video, remember I showed you how to emulsify your dressing by starting with your mustard base, then adding in your oil, then adding your liquid. Our liquid today is going to be orange juice. So again, super healthy dish. So let's get started. Again, we're going to start with our whole grain mustard, our extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, and our orange juice. Now I'm going to emulsify them with a whisk. If you don't have a whisk, feel free to use a spoon. A spoon will work the same way, but you just want to mix all those ingredients until they come together. Remember, what you're trying to do is to use the air from the circular motion that you're using with your hand to help to bind together all those ingredients. The mustard is going to work as a great emulsifier, pulling it all together. All right, so there we are, guys. Looks good. Finish this off. We're just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Again, remember, anytime you're seeing a recipe and it has TT next to salt and pepper, that just means to taste. So we're going to add a pinch of salt, pinch of fresh ground black pepper, and there we are. We have our dressing ready to go. One final mix. All right, and we'll set our dressing aside to use in step 2. All right, let's go ahead and start building our salad. So right here we have our farro. Okay, we're gonna add that as the base to our salad. Again, if you don't have farro, you can use quinoa. Again, both of these grains you can easily find in any local grocery store. But again, I'm just giving you a couple options. So we're gonna start with farro. Next, we're gonna add in our fennel. So just remember, guys, I got a fennel bulb here just so you can see it. You go to the store, it normally comes with the stalks on a little bit longer. You can just take those stalks right off, and this is what the fennel bulb looks like. So I took the fennel bulb and I already sliced it down and I have it right here. We're gonna add it into our salad. So whenever you cut fennel, one thing you wanna remember is if you're gonna use it for a later stage, you wanna make sure that you soak it in some nice ice cold water, right? And just a touch of lemon juice is gonna keep that fennel from turning brown. Piece of equipment that we have right here. This piece of equipment is called a mandolin. You can also use that to shave your fennel down nice and easy. If you don't have a mandolin, you can go ahead and use a knife. Just make sure you're being safe at all times. Make sure you have your cut glove on if you're going to use a knife or a mandolin. That way you don't nick or cut yourself. Okay, so now we have our fennel in. If you don't have fennel or you don't like fennel, remember fennel's going to be that almost kind of dark, bitterish, licorice taste. So if you don't like fennel, you can always substitute that for red onions, and I have some red onions here on the side. But again, we're not going to use that in this recipe. Next, we're going to do our oranges. Again, you can go back to the first video. Remember I showed you how to segment oranges, cutting in between the whites to make sure that you just have the clean parts of the orange. So that's what we're going to add into our salad. So next, oranges go in. From there, we're going to add our blueberries. Remember, anytime you use blueberries, you want to make sure you separate them and wash them ahead of time. You don't want to just use them straight out of the packages. So blueberries are in. So diced apples. So here we use a green apple. So what do you want to make sure? Same thing with the green apple. If you're going to cut it ahead of time, you want to make sure that you cut it, you put it in some nice cold water, right? Half a teaspoon of lemon juice into that water will keep the apples from turning brown. So we're going to use about 5 or 6 pieces. And again, you can cut that to any size. I like a medium chunk. Let's say you wanted a smaller dice, you could do that as well, no problem at all. So here are our strawberries, again, from Cal Poly Farms. Took the strawberries, washed them, took off the stems, and then I just quartered them. Add those right in. We have our craisins. Craisins are gonna go in next. Pecans. Again, if you wanted to toast these ahead of time, if you wanted to maybe add a little bit of sugar on top of them and then toast them in the oven just to give them a little bit more texture, a little bit more sweetness, you could do that. You could also buy them from the store any way you like. If you don't like pecans, you want almonds, you want peanuts, you can add any nut that you like. Touch of cinnamon. So the recipe calls for just a pinch, so we're gonna add just a pinch. Salt and pepper, again to taste. We have some mint here, so I have my fresh mint. What I did is I just chiffonade it, and we're gonna add that right to our salad. It's gonna give it a little bit of that herbaceous flavor, right? Brighten up the dish a little bit. Once we have all of our ingredients combined into our bowl, we're gonna mix up our dressing, and we're just gonna top it. Again, remember guys, you don't want to add so much dressing to the dish that the dish is just saturated. You want to put just enough in the dish to coat the dish, and then you can always add a little bit more over the top if you like. All right, so here we are, final stages. We're gonna mix up the dish and then plate it. Doesn't that look amazing? Strawberries, blueberries, apples, fennel, all mixed together. Look at that, perfect mix. All right guys, let's plate it up. Remember, as you're plating, you want to make sure you get all your colors in there. Remember, you eat with your eyes first, so make sure you dress your dish. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Almost lost it. We got our mint. We're going to garnish with our mint right on top. And there you are, guys.